Role play. Now, this is a word you've probably heard many, many times said before. You've probably seen it in movies, TV shows, books, 50 Shades of Grey, all sorts of things, right? But do you really know what it is? Have you explored it? Do you know if it's right for you? Well, today, this video is going to go over all of that. I'm going to go through what roleplay is, how it works for people, what it does for people, what it could possibly do for you, and then I'm also going to give you a bit of tips on how to actually get started using it. So, if that sounds interesting to you, keep watching. Let's talk about sex. I'm your host, Jerome Stewart Nichols, resident sex expert at ltasex.com and Mr. Butters at getthebutters.com. Thank you so much for watching, and let's get started with the show. Role play is just simply the act of playing pretend. That's what a lot of people thought it was when they opened this video, but let me explain a little bit further because it is deeper than that. It might not seem deeper than that, but the world is very interesting and sexuality is very intriguing. So, playing pretend is the core of it. However, children play pretend. And yeah, they do get a lot of the psychological benefits, but they're not thinking about or doing the same things, obviously. So when an adult is doing it and they're getting sexual pleasure, essentially what they're doing is creating a bit of a psychological avatar for themselves that allows them to explore their own sexual desires, variety of behavior, a variety of activities, of experiences, of motivations, of taboos that they wouldn't normally have based on their lifestyle. It's a very creative and useful thing to do. Now, that's not to say adults aren't also getting that same sort of playful, joyous, relaxing, imaginative playtime out of role play. The word play is in the name, after all. Everything when it comes to BDSM is all about play. This is supposed to be fun. But what's the point in doing that? What is the point of playing pretend, of having a safe avatar for you to express yourself? Well, freedom, psychological ease. A lot of people struggle with doing things that they feel like is outside of the concept they have of themselves. Things that are, or I would never, but you know who might. Let me switch up my wig real quick because, Ashley might be a through and through respectable gal. But Amy, put on that pink wig on. Amy's a speed racer from the Sonic universe. And she does all sorts of fun things. You see what I did there? I mixed up a couple of fun things there. We're in costuming, which is a part of roleplay. A lot of people don't think about that. And costuming is very fun. Just playing pretend and dress up is very, very fun. Then you mix up pop culture things that you enjoy. So gaming, Amy, that was a reference to Sonic Sonic the Hedgehog if you don't know what that was. Put on the pink wig. That can also be, you could be Nicki Minaj for the night if you want to, or Pink if you want to. It's endless. The options are endless. And truthfully, that level of variety is part of why people do it so much and why they enjoy it so much. There's just no end to the amount of fun and the amount of adventure that you can experience when it comes to role play. What exactly counts as role play? That's a good question. Glad you asked. Glad I asked myself, in fact. Well, in the wide world of role play, basically anything counts. Whenever you're hearing people refer to each other as like mommy and daddy or something, like that is a loose take on the word role play, okay? So you're playing a literal role within the household, within the family. And that has like certain characteristics that go along with it. Oftentimes the role is played naturally, authentically by who you are. Sometimes you feed into the role. Sometimes you are, for example, you may often see a guy and a girl. They're like, oftentimes when you see this in real life, it'll be a bigger guy, smaller girl, and she's, pretending like she's just so petite, so small, so dainty. We know she can do anything she could possibly want to. And he's pretending like he's just so big, so burly, so strong. That's a whole role play thing. And you have to understand that even stuff as simple as that adds so much spice and fun to people's life. And that's why they do it in the first place. Now, it doesn't have to stop there being that simple, loosely based. Although, in a lot of ways, you could say that the people who do the baby girl, the different roles in public, that is basically a high protocol BDSM relationship. You could say that. They may not see it that way, and honestly, it really doesn't matter. But from the perspective of this video and the information that we're trying to gather for you, it's useful information to have. So, what else constitutes? This is going to be stuff like when you're playing cops and robbers, right? This can just be, as I described before, you can just throw on a wig, right? You could be doing cosplay. You could be doing Halloween costumes, okay? You could be doing any sort of little thing, even just like a typical scenario. A lot of roleplay things don't actually require you to dress up, because a lot of the things that you would be dressing up as is just normal clothes, just like normal people. My doctor doesn't wear a white coat anymore, right? Like maybe a stethoscope, but that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like times have changed. So like, depending on the fantasy that you're trying to build, and honestly, the level of interest and dedication would really change how you choose to engage with this. Frankly, for a lot of people, being able to really dive deep into their fantasies and role play is a bit of a privilege, because let's be real, costumes and stuff are expensive. Knowing how to cosplay is a skill. You have to be able to have the time and the resources to be able to accomplish all this, and you do not have to be ashamed for not wearing costumes or not going all out, because truthfully, people have lives, and as long as you are having the sex that you want and you are enjoying it there at your home, that's all that matters. I mentioned that humble wig a bit earlier because it is one of the more accessible ways that you can actually accomplish these things. A lot of people don't realize that wigs are actually not that expensive. You can get them at the beauty supply store for like $10. Now it's going to be a little shaking though, but if you are talented, if you're skilled, and maybe, you have maybe an hour as opposed to like 6 hours, then you can maybe invest a little bit of time versus a lot of bit of time. You're still going to have to do a little bit of work, and I mention all of this because now we're going to get into a little bit of tips for people who do actually want to go all out. Because truthfully, going all out, although it's a privilege, it's available to lots of people, and everybody should be able to have fun in the same possible way, I think. Now, I mention all of that because we're about to get into what to actually do if you do want to go all out, okay? Now, a lot of times, people get lost in decision paralysis, okay? That is simply just there's too many choices, there's too many things to do. If you don't already have a idea in mind of what it is that you're trying to accomplish, or like a fantasy that you're trying to make happen, the likelihood of you actually getting it right the first time is unlikely. So you should be prepared that maybe not every dollar you spend on this first time is going to go directly to making you orgasm the best you possibly can, but it will go to exploring the things that you want to explore. Some of the safer ways to do that is to make sure that you're doing things like, savior, prince, princess, or doctor, patient, cop, robber, the more basic concepts. That's a good way to avoid kind of falling flat on your face the first time around. Although you should pretty much expect that you're going to, because let's be honest, sex is fun, and sex is kind of funny too. Funny in the awkward, haha, I'm very embarrassed sort of way, and not the like, ha 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 ha, making fun sort of way. So we want to make sure that we're prepared to laugh off everything, because this is a ridiculous thing that we're doing. Roleplay. I mean, come on. I love all the animals here. It's amazing. That's better. I figured since I'm out here in all this wonderful nature, I should actually give you a good view of what I'm going through. Coming back to Detroit has been very fun, I have to say. It's given me a lot of great places to shoot and explore. So, where do you actually go to get this equipment that you need? These costumes, these wigs, the makeup, the jewelry, the toys, yeah. Where do you go? A costume store. Yeah, like literally a traditional costume store. If you want to get decent costumes, that is. Now, if you want cheaper costumes, you can go to a Halloween store. You could also have custom ones made for you. And you know what? Garments are surprisingly affordable. Like if you're that sort of person, they can be kind of affordable. No, you don't necessarily have to tell them what you're doing. Okay, they may infer, but as long as you're not being creepy or weird about it, they're not really going to care. I promise you that. Now that you've got a general understanding of what you want to do, how you're looking, how are you actually going to set this thing up? Write it down. I'm not kidding. I don't know about for you, but for me, studiousness is very attractive. If I happen to see my partner writing down some shit about what we're going to do together to please me, I would be very excited. We ain't even done nothing yet. It sounds like foreplay. Office supplies. I love office supplies. Come on now. Don't let them handwrite that mofo. Let me see that beautiful handwriting. Let me see that skill. Let me see that thought. Let me see that time. Let's put all that together, because truthfully, that is part of what makes role play fun, is how many layers of things that you get to do and explore and express. There's so many things. Hell, you could role play as a writer. You don't have to necessarily be stuck to anything. You can do what you want. You could have a little pen pal situation going on. There are so many great ways to explore. And that gets into the part that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to role play, is that it's adding variety, which means that it's adding more people, personas. If you're in a monogamous relationship, role play can get you anywhere in the world. You don't have to cheat. You don't have to go have sex with that athlete. Just go pretend you're having sex with the athlete. Now, it may not be as fulfilling, but you don't actually know that it would be fulfilling to go have sex with the athlete. Let's be real here. If you're trying to maintain your vows and your monogamy and your relationship, this is such a better way than, or like it's a much more controlled way, I should say, than the more common thing of people immediately wanting to like open up their relationship. You can try some simple things, just being a different person, not necessarily even doing anything different than you would normally do, and things can be so much more vibrant for you. Year after year, I talk to men and women in couples who are struggling with, sexual incompatibility, boredom. They've done it all. They've been it all. They used to be freaky and now they're bored. Well, it happens to a lot of people. It's probably I'd say it's roughly about 25% of all the questions that I get asked roughly boil down to, I've been with my partner for a very long time. We used to do a lot of things, or we never really did a lot of things. And I either want to do them now, or I feel like if I don't do them, I'm going to resent my partner, or I feel like our bedroom is going to die, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And as I just discussed, what people often think is, oh my God, we need to open our relationship. We need to have three-ways. We need to do this, that, and the other. What I often tell people is that opening your relationship should be like the last choice, because adding more people adds thousands of complications in a way that you cannot fathom until that person is actually in your relationship. And if what you're trying to preserve, if the point of this activity is stated to be strengthening the relationship between you two, you don't necessarily need someone for that often. I don't ever want to seem like I'm shaming people, because honestly, sometimes you do need a third party in there. Maybe sometimes you need somebody to help open you up, warm you up, make you more comfortable with one another, teach you, show you. There are lots of people who could benefit from a hands-on demonstration. That's part of why I've started making these videos in the way that I do, where I'm just sort of freestyling and talking to you. And you're getting to see me in real time. Get to see me in real time make, creative ideas about this role play thing that I'm teaching you about. You actually get to see how spontaneous and fun that situation can be. It doesn't have to be this whole stressful or like overwrought situation, because I gave you so many fun ideas to do just off the top of my head. This video is completely unscripted. I literally said, I want to talk about role play today. And that sort of spontaneity, that sort of fun, is exactly the thing that I said is going to keep your relationship pumping for a very long time. Go role play today. Keep it sexy. Thank you for watching. I've been your host, Jerome Stewart Nichols. Mwah. Love you guys.